Hi, wee steamers. It's Sheila Kay here, and I'm so happy you've joined me today. Come in close, because we have a special poem to read together today. Can you guess what this poem's about? Here's a clue. It's about the biggest animal of all that lives in the ocean. Have you guessed? Right. This poem is about whales. It's called Wilbur the Whale. Listen, here's how it goes. Wilbur the whale leaps and splashes in his home on the wide blue bay. Below the rolling waves he dashes, then sends up a fountain of spray. Say it with me this time, okay? Here we go. Wilbur the whale leaps and splashes in his home on the wide blue bay. Below the rolling waves he dashes, then sends up a fountain of spray. Thank you for saying that poem with me. I think Wilbur really liked showing you all the things he can do in the water, like leaping and splashing and diving under the surface. But you know, I was wondering, why do you think whales make all those different movements out in the ocean in the water? What ideas do you have about that? Right, they do look like they're playing and having fun too. And they do like to leap out of the water, but we know that they jump out of the water when they're looking for food or looking for other whales, or even when they're trying to shake off little animals called barnacles that like to stick to their skin. And sometimes we know that whales will slap their tail on the surface of the water when they're warning other whales to stay away from them. And did you notice Wilbur's fins? Here's one fin. Here's another fin. His fins help him swim very fast through the water. Did you also notice Wilbur's eyes? Here's one eye. Here's another eye. Well, Wilbur's eyes are on the side of his head, which is different from ours, right? Because our eyes are on the front of our head, on our face. But Wilbur's eyes are on the side of his head, so he can see all around him. Did you notice something else about Wilbur? See this on top of his head? Believe it or not, that is Wilbur's nostril. It's called a blowhole. Where is your nostril? Right, we have two nostrils right here on the front of our face, but Wilbur's nostril is on top of his head. That's how he breathes. We know that some of the biggest whales can hold their breath for a long, long time, as long as your free play time at school or even your nap time. So whales can hold their breath for a long time. And then when they're ready to come up and get some air, they go to the top of the surface of the water and they blow out all the old stale air, and then they let the new fresh air come in. And that's why we see all that spray come out from the top of their head when they're exhaling all of that old stale air. I had another question for you. What do you think whales eat? Right, they do like to eat fish. And we know that some whales who don't really have teeth like to eat small fish like shrimp or crab or squid. And other larger whales who do have special kinds of teeth will eat things like seals or walruses, those kinds of animals. And did you know that whales have more than one stomach? We have one stomach, but whales can have 3 to 4 stomachs, and some whales have even more than that. And we also know that whales like to talk, and whales can talk in 2 different ways. People like to say that when whales are talking, they're singing, and they might be singing whale songs. But here are the 2 different ways they talk. When they're trying to figure out where they're going in the water, they can make a clicking sound. And the other kinds of sounds they make are whistling sounds when they're trying to talk to other whales. So we know that whales like to talk too. So what are some other things you know about whales? Well, you're right. They are very, very big and very, very heavy. They're also very long. A whale can be longer than a basketball court. Did you know that? That's how long they are. And we know that they're very, very heavy. Well, you know, the biggest whale around is the blue whale. And the blue whale is so heavy, believe it or not, it's heavier than 25 elephants. That's how heavy the blue whale is. And you're also right, we know that whales are very, very chubby, and whales' chub is called blubber. But blubber is really important to whales because it helps keep them warm when they're swimming in the cold ocean water, and their blubber also helps them float. So there are so many things to know about whales. Do you think you might ever see a real whale out on the ocean water? Well, someday you might. We know that scientists and other people who know a lot about whales take people out to watch whales in special boats, but you have to be very quiet and very respectful because the ocean is the whale's home. And if you're lucky, you might see whales leap out of the water and splash back down. And because whales are so smart and so curious, they might swim close to your boat or even right under your boat to pay you a visit. Wow, we learned so many things about whales today, we steamers. We said a poem about a whale. We learned how big whales are. We learned how their bodies help them live in the water. We learned about all the movements they make. We also learned about the kinds of things that whales eat and how they talk and make sounds. So we know that whales are giant, beautiful, really curious creatures that we have to protect so that they can live happily and safely in the ocean. Oh, it was so much fun spending time with you today, we steamers, and talking about whales. We'll say another poem or sing a song together again soon. But now it's time for our special way to say goodbye. I'll say it once and then you say it back to me, okay? See you later, alligator. Gotta swish, jellyfish. Bye-bye, butterfly. Bye.